Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back today with, I think this is video 6. I may be wrong because I haven't looked and I haven't checked, but I think this is video 6 in the Drop 'em 78 Tarot Challenge for 2024. And I think I know I'm over halfway through this challenge now, because at the end of this video I'll have taken us up to the Queen of Cups. So we've done the Pentacles, the Wands and the Cups. Then comes the Swords, and then comes the Majors. So I know that I'm over halfway through for you, which I'm really pleased about. I have to say, some days this challenge is a challenge. I am enjoying it. Essentially, I am enjoying it, and I'm learning a lot from it, actually. I mean, you think when you'd been reading cards for, God, over half your life, you wouldn't think a little challenge like this would teach you so much, but it really has done, actually. And I'm really particularly enjoying the discovery, the comparison between the two cards, because that's not something that I would normally do a lot of, really. I might, if I'm doing a reading or journaling, I might have a tarot deck and an oracle card to compare, but I don't often have two tarot decks, so that's been really nice to do that. But anyway, this week has been a better week. I know that some of my earlier videos were full of woe. I'd had some difficult times, but this has been a better week again. And we started with Sunday, the 17th of November, which is the Six of Cups. And my definition for the Six of Cups, well, this is the Sun in Scorpio. It's all good things. It's things from the past coming back, sort of nostalgia, sentimentality, memories, that inner contentment, making each other happy in your relationships, your friendships, your inner child, love and respect. It is really all the good things that that have special meaning to you, things that come from your past that still trigger those happy and warm feelings within you, I think. And the detail in this card, well, it's a beautiful card, actually, isn't it, for the Six of Cups? I wouldn't necessarily have put hippos myself, because I think of hippos as being quite aggressive. Even though they look quite cute, they are quite aggressive, aren't they? So I don't think I would have put hippos, but these are beautiful hippos, actually. And I've just written here for the details of this card of just how gentle and peaceful these hippos must be, to have all the birds landing on them and sitting on them. They're surrounded by lotus flowers, and it's just a very peaceful scene, isn't it? It's called the Reuniting Waterhole. So yeah, it's a nice card. And the comparison for this card is much more traditional, isn't it? It's something that you would expect to see, and it is very pretty. I think I prefer the Curious Travels Six of Cups here, with the two little girls, one of them doing her hair. They've got their flowers, which is a very traditional thing from Rider-Waite-Smith Six of Cups. And it's just a really peaceful scene, isn't it? It's almost like, because all is sort of dark around them, and then there's this little spotlight of the sun here, it's like they're protected in their little bubble, and I really like that. It's very harmonious. And for my day, I said that I'd already written, actually, in my journal the day before, I hope I'm feeling this today, and I was. I was feeling very peaceful and content. There was a lot of inner contentment around last Sunday, and it was a good day. So for the Monday, we have got the Seven of Cups, I don't know if you can hear the wind out there. We're currently having, I think it's called Storm Bert in the UK, and it has been so windy. It's gone from like snowing a couple of days ago and being minus temperatures to, I think it's supposed to even be 17 degrees today. And the wind is strong and we've had a lot of rain. It's really quite weird weather. But I think it is common for this time of year, actually, in the UK. We do often get these sort of weird, sort of westerly storms when it suddenly gets milder. But it was just weird because, like I said earlier in the week, we actually had snow and frozen conditions. So it's changed really quite suddenly. Anyway, back to Monday, which was the Seven of Cups. And I've written for my definition of this card that this is about opportunities, illusions, fantasy, vanity, avoiding reality. It's about being very careful what you choose, that you could be lying to yourself, that you could be hoping for what could be and not what actually is. It's a bit of escapism, isn't it? And sort of that warning of that you can't really lie to yourself. So the symbols in this card are, well, the detail of this card is really all the symbols here, isn't it? With the octopus tentacles again. And it's like one is holding fire here, which represents passion. One's holding a snake, which could bite you. There's a cup with some bubbles up here, which is a very short-lived pleasure, isn't it? And so this card definitely is showing you that not everything is quite as it seems, is it? And we've got a very similar thing going on in the Curious Travels deck here, much the same message and energy, that things are not always as they seem. And I think this card made me sort of think, am I too quick to trust? Do I romanticize things too much? This was something that was on my mind in the week. So I'm not sure really. I actually wrote, I'm quite literal. I don't know whether it's my autism or just me, but I am quite literal, and I can struggle when people say things and do something different, you know, when things are not congruent, when they do and say different things, when those things don't match up. And that has bitten me on the bum quite a few times, like the snake in this card. And I think because I am literal, I can hang on to things, and that sort of, you know, in that sort of almost lying to yourself of of not what is, but what the potential of things. I'm not explaining that very well, am I? But it's like if somebody's told me something, it will take a lot for me to not believe that then. I can be a bit like that. For my day for this card, I've written that I took my mum shopping, but had a very peaceful day otherwise. And I wrote, what am I lying to myself about? I do indulge in escapism on occasion, but don't we all? But I wrote, I don't think I actually do believe these sort of fantasies and this sort of romanticism that I can sometimes build up in my head about certain things. I think that I only go so far with that before my more logical side will kick in, and it's like a big reality check then, really. So yeah, I don't think I explained that very well, but yeah, that's kind of what I mean. So for Tuesday, for the Eight of Cups, I've written the definition for this is just not looking back, isn't it? It's like leaving things behind, walking away, letting something go, realising what's important, deciding what suits you and serves you and what does not. This is a very important card, the Eight of Cups, and something I struggle with a lot, actually. I think I think I've struggled with codependency type issues in my life, and I can often persevere when really I should turn around and just walk away. You know, I've done that to my detriment several times in my life. And I mean, eventually I will always walk away. Eventually, it's like I said, it's like that more logical, rational side will kick in, and for my own survival, for my own well-being, I will walk away. But it takes a lot for me to reach this place, and I've often thought it takes me too long. And I was thinking about that with this card, actually, because in the detail here we can see that some of these chalices are half buried, aren't they, indicating that perhaps quite some time has passed, you know, and that maybe this situation has been evolving over quite a bit of time, and that time and experience has led you to this place of walking away. Yeah. So the Curious Travels deck is very similar, isn't it? We can see a person here walking away from their cups. They've got a long journey ahead of them, we can see in this card. And again, it's like that, you know, for this journey to take so long, there is a passing of time, isn't there, to understand a situation. Thank you, George. And I think actually this card is kind of encouraging you and telling you really that you didn't ought to run away. You know, you didn't want to walk away in haste, but that you should walk away slowly with your thoughts and feelings to kind of gain that clarity, and that passing of time is actually a necessary thing. It's just, I think I do actually take even longer than is absolutely necessary. I've written for my day that I handled a situation today and was able to get my feelings heard, something that's been a sort of long-standing issue. And I was actually thinking about this card and the importance of working out what serves and what does not, and kind of drawing a line in the sand, having a bit of a boundary over it. And I feel that on that day I was able to actually do that. So we'll see if that works out in the long term. But yeah, I did do that. So for Wednesday, we've got the 9 of Cups. This is the contented pelican. And the 9 of Cups to me represents that contentment again, that comfort, that feeling satisfied, achieving what you want really, some kind of fulfillment. But there's always, for me with the 9 of Cups, there's always a concern of like smugness or things being too much, you know, that you need to count your blessings. You know, that you're in a good place and that your dreams are coming true perhaps, but you need to count your blessings and be grateful for what you've got, not be smug about it. So there's a difference, isn't there, between being contented and being smug. I've put for the detail of this card just the pelican's eyes in this, because they're kind of like rolled up in this kind of ecstasy with his mouth full of fish there. That just made me laugh, really. And the Curious Travels card here, I really like this actually as a sort of image of the 9 of Cups. It's a strange image, isn't it? It's like there's the cups turned upside down, pouring the water out in front of her, but she just sat behind them, very still and very serene. And she looks happy and content, I feel, how she sat there. It's like she sat behind a waterfall, isn't it? And that's a very different energy, isn't it, to the sort of ecstasy and the eye rolling of this pelican here as he grabs all the fish. So I quite like the sereneness and the stillness. She could easily be counting her blessings and being grateful for things sat back there behind the water. So I like that card. And for my day, I just said I had a busy day. I was on my own, catching up on chores, but actually feeling really quite content and satisfied to be getting things done. It actually makes me really happy to be cleaning and tidying and decluttering. And I changed my autumn sort of decor in my little tarot room to winter. I went from pumpkins to Christmas trees and holly and ivy and berries and robins and all that kind of thing. So I really enjoyed that. That for me, that was contentment, feeling satisfied, and really truly feeling grateful for all of those things, for being able to do that. Yeah. So what's the next card? So this is for Thursday of last week, the 21st of November, and my definition of the Ten of Cups is, this is called the joyous sky, actually, and it's just, again, it's happiness, fulfillment, a sort of oneness, freedom, family, joy, play, pleasure, bonding. It can also be about sort of forgiving somebody that you love, that feeling that love all around you, being part of a group, peace and harmony at home. It's all the good things, isn't it? And the detail of this card is, I've written orcas jumping through clouds, not water. Is it like they're reaching for higher realms, rising above the clouds? Not really sure. But I quite like that as an image. And then the discovery with the curious travels is, this is a really nice card, isn't it? We've got the sun and the moon there together in kind of harmony. I think their children are these stars here. And it's like everything is in harmony there, isn't it? All is well. Everyone's happy together. It's all good. So I really like that also. And my day, how this all related to my day. Again, it was a very quiet day. During the day, I spent the day making food for my other half. Felt very content making some nice food for us. And I've actually written that it's rare and it's hard for me to feel that kind of inner contentment. A lot of the time my mind is restless. It's like my emotions and my intuition are just pinging all the time, responding and reacting to various things in my environment, and my mind will ping pong me from the past to the future and back again, and I can find it quite hard to be present in the moment and feel that real contentment. But I did manage to on that day. So maybe these cards and the fact that I'm kind of meditating and focusing on this energy during the day, maybe that is helping me find some level of kind of contentment in things. So for Friday, we have the Page of Cups, and my definition for the Page of Cups, this is the Sister of Roses. My definition is, this is a very emotional and sensitive person, intuitive, ruled by their heart. They're creative and kind. This card is really about learning to trust yourself. It's about forgiveness, being able to let your feelings show, being gentle in your approach, being kind. It's also about beauty and nature, I think, the Page of Cups. And I've just written for the detail of this card, just how soft and gentle this little doe is here, how beautiful she is. She sort of looks trusting and somewhat fragile, but she's got that transformational energy that all pages have about her with those butterflies. She's a work in progress, she's growing, and that's a very sweet card. a lot of the choices for animals in this Goliath don't really hit the spot with me, but I like this one. And the Page of Cups in the Curious Travels, well, I've just written she looks kind of relaxed and chilled. She's got the cup with the fish on her head, which shows that she's open, that she's maybe going with the flow, because it's like her hair is just melting into, I don't know what is underneath her, whether that is the sea or water, or, but it's like she's part of that, isn't it? And I've written, I actually really like the doe as the page out of these two, but both have that kind of soft openness, which I do like. And I've written about my day here. I've written that I went out for lunch with my mum and dad and their neighbour, and it was a very relaxed day for me. I could actually feel this energy, and I felt grateful for my life, for the people in my life. But I have written here that trust is never easy for me. I think when life is going too well, I'm always waiting for the thing to trip me up, the thing to bite me on the bum. And like I've said, that's kind of my restless, sort of ruminating head that I wish would just shut up, really, and just let me be. Just let me be sometimes. And then the last card I'll show you for today, because obviously I'm recording this on a Sunday morning, so this is for Saturday, this is for yesterday, and this is the Knight of Cups. This is the Brother of the Wild, and I've written, this is about following your heart, isn't it? It's about really feeling connected to everything, being super intuitive. I think the Knight of Cups almost idolises love, really. It's just completely ruled by his heart over head decisions, can see the depth in everything, is a daydreamer. Yeah. And for the detail of this card, I've written this young wolf is clearly part of a tribe or community. He's calling to them. And I suppose that connection is everything, really, for this wolf here. In comparison, the discovery with the Curious Travels, this, don't know what this creature is here, really, but you can see the water coming in through the head and emptying out into the ground. Surrounded by fish here. So it's about water pouring out, following the emotions, letting the emotions flow, being open. And I think what is important, because this is a knight, is that this person looks, well, they both do actually, they're ready to act on their emotional flow, aren't they? Which is important with all of the knights, is that they're ready to act and do something with what they're thinking or feeling. So we can see that here. Yeah, and my day, this was yesterday. Yesterday I had to go to a hospital appointment with my other half. It was actually an appointment for him, not me. It was a sort of strange day, really, because we had to go later in the day, so it sort of broke our day up, and we didn't get home till quite late. And I think, yeah, it was just a strange day. I've written here I resonate with this card often in romantic relationships, because I'm always seeking that connection, and like I said, my intuition and my emotions are always sort of pinging, which can make me uncertain and insecure some days. And I have to use a lot of energy up, actually, to talk to myself and soothe and reassure myself that everything is okay. And I was feeling some of that yesterday, and I think partly it's just because the day was not a usual Saturday for us. And perhaps I wasn't quite feeling the connectedness that I would like to have done. And it's ridiculous to be that insecure just because of one day, but I could feel it yesterday. And it took a lot of energy not to act on those feelings, I think, and to just try and go with it and trust in the process and trust that nothing has changed just because the day was a tricky one. So, yeah, there we go. But as you can tell, it was a much, much better week for me, and these cards did resonate quite a lot for me. Tomorrow is Monday, and that will be the King of Cups, and then we're on to the Ace of Swords. So I think Esther described the swords as the P, which is piercing through with the swords. So yeah, that will be interesting. I was just looking in my journal, and I think it's next Thursday is the Three of Swords. So I'm already thinking, oh my God, what's going to occur for the Three of Swords? Which I know is silly, but there you go. That's yet another example of where my brain will take me if I'm not disciplined with myself. So there we go. I hope you're enjoying listening to me. Like I said in my last video, if you're still here with me listening to these videos week after week, I'm very grateful. And I do hope that if you're not having a go yourself this year, that you might have a go next year, because I do think as a journey it's been really powerful. And like I said, I have some apprehension about the swords, but I'm also looking forward to them, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the majors resonate, particularly coming up to Christmas. That will be interesting. So yeah, so thanks for being here with me. Please do say hello, and I will see you all again soon. Thank you.